Hi, good evening. Thank you all for joining our dual enrollment information night. I would like to give about a couple of minutes to let a few others join, and then we'll get started. All right, thank you all for joining our information session tonight. We are now getting ready to get started. All right, so our dual enrollment advisors, currently we have Iris Hilliard at Alvin High School. We have Judith Hurtado at Iowa Colony. She also has Danbury High School, and as of October 1st, she will have our homeschool, private school, and other high schools as well. We have Patrick Morton at Shadow Creek High School.
Good evening. I'm Diane Thompson. I'm the dual enrollment advisor at Mayville High School.
And currently, we have two vacancies at Turner High School and Dawson and Pearland High School. Um, Currently, I am Sharma Archie, and I'm the director that's filling in at Turner High School. And Miss Christina Martins will be at Dawson and Pearland through next week, and then I'll be covering over there as well. All right, our ACC main campus contacts. Actually, our Dr. Jessica Renero Ramirez is our Dean of College Access and Partnerships. She is located at our ACC West location. Again, I am Sharma Archie. I'm the director, and I am located on the main campus upstairs in the library. Michaela Canales Geiger is also our administrative assistant for dual enrollment, our specialist. And then we have Miss Linda Smith, who is our senior administrative assistant. So, what is dual enrollment? Dual enrollment is a partnership that Alvin Community College has with our local ISDs to give high school students the opportunity to graduate from high school with college credits. And for some students, they complete the entire 60-hour Associate of Arts degree in General Studies. Dual enrollment college courses are taught at the high school during the school day. As part of the student's schedule, those classes are embedded in the schedule. And then after completing the dual enrollment admissions requirements, students can take classes online at another location. As mentioned before, we do have an ACC West location that we are currently building our course offerings there. So students may be able to take some classes there as well. So why dual enrollment? Studies show that over 88% of dual enrollment students that go on to college after high school complete their degrees at a higher rate in less time than non participating peers. College success rates show that first year GPAs are higher for students entering college that have earned dual enrollment credit in high school. So it basically gives students an edge because they've already taken some college courses and kind of know what to expect on the university level. Dual enrollment students make up over 47% of ACC's total student enrollment. Our college is invested in your success. So, preparing for university success, in addition to earning college credits in dual enrollment, it also provides students an opportunity to learn the academic, social, and time management skills needed for university success. It allows students to adjust to the academic rigor of college and university coursework. It exposes first generation students college students to educational and learning experiences. And I'm sorry, I can't see the last sentence. Can you read that, Diane? I have a
Yes,
internet
of
covering
course.
it.
It says that it encourages the development of critical thinking skills in our students.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the financial benefits of dual enrollment when we think about going to college, right? That's sort of an overwhelming idea of the cost. So when a student is enrolled in one 3-hour college class, typically that's a 1-semester class. If you're taking it as a dual enrollment course, it might cost you about $150 to $175. If you take it at a community college after high school, that exact same course could cost you about $500. If you were to take that same course after high school graduation at a school like the University of Texas, it's going to cost you $1,800. If you stayed maybe a little bit closer to home and you took it at U of H, the course might cost you $1,600. So it's a significant savings to be able to take courses while in dual enrollment. So why do students choose to be in the dual enrollment program? They'll choose the program to get ahead of their peers. It's a great way, as we talked, to save money. It also saves some time. It does give you an opportunity to boost your grade point average. Those classes are weighted more heavily than a regular high school course. It gives students a great opportunity to learn to be successful in college before they actually leave the nest, right? Before they're outside of their home, they can learn how to be a successful college student. It's also an opportunity for students to be able to stand out to scholarship committees, colleges and universities by demonstrating that they're ready to do college level work the minute they enter their next university. All right, what kind of students take dual enrollment classes? This one is such an important conversation piece for parents and students to make sure that everyone is really on the same page. To be a successful dual enrollment student, your student should, prior to starting those courses, already be highly motivated. They should be able to stick to a goal. They should be able to regularly meet deadlines. They should already have above average grades. That means they're routinely earning A's and B's. They possess good study habits. They know they have some time management skills. They know how to sort of plan out their workload and also have a high level of maturity. The professors definitely look at the students, not as high school students, but as college students who happen to be in high school. So what is a dual degree? Within the dual enrollment program, we do have opportunity for students to earn an Associate of Arts in General Studies. It is a program that is rigorous and it's going to take extra time and dedication. Students will earn credits towards their high school diploma and their Associate of Arts at the same time. Definitely students who want to try and earn their Associate of Arts in General Studies, they do need to contact the ACC advisor on their campus to develop a degree plan. So that's a sample degree plan there at the bottom. I will say for my students, almost nobody has an identical looking degree plan. We try and work with our students to make sure that it best tailors their needs, but it does give you an idea that the junior and senior year typically is more heavy in dual enrollment courses. For all dual enrollment courses, if the student earns a grade of a C or higher, right, then those classes, those college credits can transfer out to Texas public colleges and universities. So any Texas public college and university, if you're making a C or higher, then that grade and those credits are going to transfer with you. You can see these the icons of some of our different universities in Texas, and some of the private universities do in fact accept our credits. That's just a little piece of research that you and your student will need to do. You know, if your student is set on going to Southwestern University in Georgetown, then you definitely need to have a conversation to see how those credits transfer.
Good afternoon, and I'm going to be talking about the difference between dual enrollment and AP. What is the big difference? Dual enrollment and AP classes are more challenging than traditional high school classes. Both are an opportunity to earn college credit. The rigor of these classes help predict the future of the college success. For dual enrollment courses, are college courses taught at the high school campus by ACC professors. Once in the dual enrollment program, students can take the courses at the high school campus, any ACC campus, or online. They also have the option to take it online on their own time. We also offer summer courses that they can take summer courses as well. And AP classes are available at the high school campus and are taught by high school teachers. The grade students earn on the dual enrollment courses post under high school transcript and ACC college transcript with grade of C or higher, with the transfer with students to their college or universities. And the AP exam determines whether the class counts as a college credit. Students must earn at least a 5 on the AP exam to get college credits. But please also understand that if you're going to another university, they might require a 4 or 5 to get college hours credit as well. So you will need to check on that specific university what are the requirements for AP exams there. Students are able to take dual enrollment courses and AP while in high school. Taking a combination of both will help the students' interest in learning and earning the associate's degree. There's an option where they can do dual enrollment courses and AP courses at the same time. So it just depends on the student. And then the FERPA Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. We always share this information. I believe this is really important for parents to be able to speak to the professor about their student grades or assignments. The students must complete a student record release in the pod. They have the option to do it online, or they can also do it in person with their dual enrollment advisor. The students will enter the name of the individual that they wish to share their college information with and assign that individual PIN number. The individual must use the number when contacting the college about the student information. FAS. FAS, it's the financial aid information. The higher, right now, the state of Texas is offering the scholarship that it will help the students pay for the college courses and textbooks. The Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board of Financial Aid for Swift Transfer FAS program allows public institutions of higher education to offer due credit courses to educationally disadvantaged students at no cost to the students. The students are eligible under the FAST program if they meet these two requirements. The first one will be to get admitted to our dual enrollment program and run an eligible dual enrollment course at a public school district or charter school. And then the second will be qualify for national free or reduced lunch in any after 4 school years prior to enrolling in due credit courses. Students must submit their free or reduced lunch application by October 1st to be counted for the school year. Applications are submitted through the ISD website. And I get this question asked a lot. A lot of students are asking me, what exactly do I need to do to apply for the scholarship? You don't have to do anything. We will be able to see if the student is on a free or reduced lunch, if they meet the requirements. We will send the information to the state, and we will also notify the student if they qualify for the scholarship. How to start college now. So the first step will be to apply to Alvin Community College. The second step is to take the TSI exam or provide an exemption. So the TSI, it's being offered at the local high schools, or they also have the option to take it in person at ACC. Usually to take the TSI in person at ACC, they're usually offered in the morning. So that means that the student will need to be absent in the morning. Or like I said, they also have the option to take it at their high school. I know for Alvin High School, the next available TSI will be October 28th, November 18th, and I believe they have like 3 more for next semester. If your student is interested in taking the TSI in person at Alvin High School, they will need to go and see their high school counselor. I know it's $15 for one subject or $25 for all the subjects. And then they will need to sign and submit the due enrollment contract, complete the due enrollment new student orientation, attend the onboarding session if needed, pay for the courses for fall and August, and for spring semester, it will be on January. So you will need to complete, they will need to complete the first and second step no later than April 1st, 2026 to secure a student spot on the due enrollment classes for next year. What is the TSI? The TSI, it's basically a college entrance exam to determine what classes they will be able to take. Please understand that whenever they're taking the TSI, even if they don't pass the TSI, they still have 5 classes that they will qualify to take. We also offer TSI prep courses at ACC that they're $15 for 3 hours. It will help the student prepare them to pass the TSI. And the score requirements for the English reading and writing. So for English and reading, it will be a 945. On the essay, they will need to score between 5 through 8 or below a 945 if they get a score below a 945 on the English and reading, but they have a diagnostic score between 5 and 6, and on the essay between 5 and 8, they're considered TSI complete. On the math section, it will be 950 or 6. They also have the option to do the exemption TSI. So if they score a 480 on the SAT, they will be exempt from that. They wouldn't have to take the TSI. And for the math, if they score a 530 or higher, once again, they wouldn't be, they would not have to take the TSI for math.
So this is how to take the TSI. The first thing that you're going to want to do is check locally, since we are going to be offering the TSI on the junior high and high school campuses. You're going to want to check there first. It's going to be available to all the high schools, some of the junior highs, and it's always available on the ACC main campus. To find the junior high and the high school test dates, contact the dual enrollment advisor that is connected with your junior high or high school. And here are some of the dates that we have coming up for TSI. As you can see, we're starting up here even this month in some of the schools, but definitely all of them are offering something by next month. So please be aware of the upcoming TSI dates. To take the test with ACC, you have to register for the TSI with ACC. And to do that, you start by going to the ACC homepage at www.alvincollege.edu. Then at the top, there's a string of links, and one of them says Marketplace. You click on Marketplace, and once you're on there, there's a string of boxes. You will click on the testing box. And so the in-person testing is the one if you can go to the Alvin Community College campus in Alvin. It is single sections only. and it is administered at the testing center on main campus. If your student is 16 or younger, they're going to need to have an adult with them on campus while they test. The online TSI testing is for the full test or for single sections. You also register through it for the marketplace. So once again, through our homepage at alvincollege.edu, www.alvincollege.edu, marketplace testing. After you buy the test, about within 24 hours, you should receive a testing voucher from AccuPlacer, and that is how you will schedule the test. To take the test, your computer must have a camera, so a webcam, a microphone, and a strong internet connection. So here are some of the help that we have coming up for TSI. We have our boot camps coming up. So for students that have taken the TSI and maybe haven't passed a certain section, or and that's what I would recommend if they've taken it and they know they need help, go ahead and enroll in our boot camps. It's pretty reasonable there. It's $15 per section. And we have them coming up at Manville High School. We have one coming up here later on this month, and then once again in October. They have tied those to testing dates. So those are, you also have to register for the testing date. And those are the dates there that we have connected with those. So there's the Alvin ISD on the left and Pearland ISD on the right.
The deadline to sign up for the September 27th one is Monday, September 22nd. So this Monday coming up.
Thank you, Charmel.
You're welcome.
For reminders, all first-time testers have to complete what they call the pre-assessment activity. Basically, they want to know that you know how to take the test before you take the test, so you're not learning it while the test is ticking away. All testers must present a photo ID when testing, and more details will be provided when you register for the TSI. So they'll send you some information in your email when you register for the TSI. Application and TSI testing must be completed by April 1st of next year to ensure a spot in dual enrollment in the 26-27 school year. So just please keep that date in mind. The date has been moved back. If you had students that have done this before, they maybe could go into May, but this year we are trying to align with the schedule setting on the campuses, and so we have aligned with them, and we are now April 1st of next year. So please have your student apply to ACC and have their TSI testing complete by that date, and then they will be okay for their classes in their following year.
And just to add on to that, students, you must select a dual enrollment course during the course selection process. That is very important that you guys select a course whenever you're doing your course scheduling. That is the way that we know that you are interested in dual enrollment for next year. So again, this is a sheet listing all of the advisors and our email addresses and phone numbers. So please take a picture of this slide in case you have any questions following this presentation. Of course, we'll be open for questions now, but for later usage, please go ahead and get a picture of this. And then I will also share the dates for the high schools for students that are interested in testing, so you know what the dates are for each high school. All righty. Are you guys able to see if there are any questions in the chat?
Charmel, I can see the questions. I'll go ahead and read the first one.
Thank you.
If the student receives a D in a course, does it count against their high school GPA? Can they retake the course at their high school to improve their GPA through their high school? I think.
So,
go ahead.
So the student could retake the course. on the college side, and what would happen if a student made a D and then retook the course and made a B, that class would average out to a C. So the B would be included in their GPA, but the D would not leave the transcript. So the D would still show on the transcript. If they made a D in a college class, our districts convert those Ds. They're on a bell curve to a C grade. So check with your district. That should be in your course guides as to what that grade would be. But no, if you retake the course, the high school side will not replace the higher grade, the lower grade.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the next one. If the kids have made a master's in their ELAR and math tests, do they need the boot camps, or are they usually okay taking the TSI-A2 without additional studies?
Masters.
I would recommend if your student has already taken the TSIA and they know the area where they need additional support, then definitely that student needs to take the boot camp. If your student has never taken a TSIA before, they can go ahead and take it. They can see where they are. If they're not at the standard, then they'll have a little bit more information, right? And I will also tell you that there are TSI study guides and practice tests and such as that. You can certainly get on Google that, right? And maybe prepare for the TSIA that way. And then after taking it, if they still need a boot camp, maybe look at that boot camp opportunity. Chanel, do you want me? Okay. When is the pre-assessment activity taken and where? When you are registering for your TSI test online, there's a link that will say, please take this pre-assessment activity. So it's embedded in the registration process if you're going to take it at ACC. The high schools, I'm not sure what their process is for that, but they will want to see your pre-assessment activity. And, you know, it's going to be embedded there, right, in that registration area.
I will read the next question. If the student is in 10th grade, is it too late for him to take dual enrollment program? No, it's not too late to start dual enrollment. At 10th grade, I know at this point it is too late to add courses for next semester at Alvin High School, but they do have the option where they can still do the application and the TSI, and if they're willing to take classes online or after school, they can do that for next semester as well, or just wait for summer courses that we offer on summer 1 and summer 2. They're 5 weeks long. We offer classes online, classes in person, and it's 1 in June and 1 in July. But no, it's not too late to join our program still.
I'll go ahead and take the next question. Can you use your PSAT score to exempt or to use that to not take the TSI? PSAT scores of any kind are no longer accepted as waivers for the dual enrollment program. So the testing, the measurements that we use to determine college readiness, we use the TSI-A2, we use the SAT, and we use the ACT. Those are the only measures that we look at to determine whether or not a student has met college readiness for dual enrollment. So the next question is, will we get these slides emailed to us? And for current 8th graders, are the junior highs pretty flexible with them missing classes to take the test?
So this presentation will be on our website under our dual enrollment area. So you will go to www.alvincollege.edu, select the Start Here menu, select dual enrollment, and then you'll see information sessions, and you can find this presentation there.
The next question is, what is the youngest age or grade level a student can register? So they can start taking dual enrollment courses as soon as they complete their 8th grade. They don't have to wait to be a freshman. They can take classes that summer after 8th grade. and start taking college courses.
All right, our next question. How many GPA points is a dual enrollment class worth compared to AP or APA?
So
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
You
go
got
ahead.
it. Go ahead.
I'll give an answer, and then Ms. Archie, I'll defer to you. We're dealing with multiple school districts when we're talking about dual enrollment. So when we start talking about GPA and GPA weights, our best guide is to go back to the high school and look at those course selection guides. I also know that here recently in the state of Texas, there have been maybe some changes in how GPA weighting is going to happen. So we're also waiting for some guidance from the school districts on that. Miss Archie?
You hit it on the nail.
Okay.
Yes.
My daughter is in 7th grade. How can I prepare her for enrolling? So I would say definitely when we looked at that slide about is my child ready to take dual enrollment, when we talk about things like time management, cultivating maturity, already preparing, performing above and beyond, all of those things, anything that you can help your student, any of those academic success habits that you can set up in 7th grade, that's going to help your student get on track. And I would not, because, our junior high students, they've got a lot of state testing. I would maybe not really give a whole lot of push on TSI while they're in junior high. There will be courses they can take in 9th grade where all they have to do is take the TSI. My opinion is that cultivating those success habits are going to pay off more than, say, a TSI study session in 7th grade.
Encouraging independence. With them starting to be a college student, it's different than a high school student or a junior high student where parents are at the forefront. But we really encourage students to start advocating for themselves as a college student. So whenever your student gets ready to apply, parents, please allow your students to do the application and you sit next to them and assist them with it, but please start encouraging them to be the one to actually complete the application, and you're more on the assisting side.
Are the college credits only transferable to Texas state schools, or could they also be applied to out-of-state colleges? So any courses that you take, core classes, they will, if you have a C or better, they will get transfer, I believe also for out-of-state. But let me give you an example. If your daughter or your son, they're trying to transfer like Texas government, the government 2306, most likely they're not going to get credit for that course because that's a Texas course. But most of the core classes, C or better, they will get transfer.
Okay, what were the SAT scores to exempt a student? It is a 480 on the English reading portion and a 530 on the math. And I'll go back to that slide. Thought we had that in here. Maybe not. Yes, it's a 480 for the English reading part, and then it's a 530 for math.
Is there an expiration? Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to read it.
No, go ahead.
So the students only have to take the pre-assessment one time. And yes, it is an expiration. They must take it before they're allowed to take the TSI A2. So once you register your student, just go ahead and have them complete the pre-assessment. They will receive a certificate to the email that they signed up with. And that is something they will have to bring to show proof of to take the TSI.
Is taking dual enrollment courses in conflict with AP courses?
I would say no. We have several students that do a combination where they take AP courses as well as dual enrollment. Um, we do now have a new PLA policy where students can receive credit in up to 45 credit hours through AP credit as long as they're scoring a 3 or higher on the test that we have approved. And so, no, that a lot of students use it as a combination.
All right, the next question. The boot camp registrations require a September TSI testing date. What if the student wants to take it in October?
So we do offer TSI boot camps in October in both districts, in Alvin ISD as well as Pearland ISD on October 11th. So the students that take the October 11th test, we recommend that they test either October 13th or 14th because they will be out of school. The goal of the boot camps is to have the students receive the training and the additional tutoring and then test right after that. We've noticed that students are more successful when they test right after a boot camp versus waiting weeks to take the test.
Do STAR test scores correlate with TSI performance?
No, not anymore. That was the PSAT waivers that we no longer have. The only option will be with once again, with the SAT or ACT that they may qualify for exemptions on the TSI.
I'm just going to add something to that. When we consider what a STAR test is, right, that's something that the state of Texas is administering to evaluate their performance at the high school level. A TSI test is an instrument that the student is being used to see how they perform at the college level, right? So there's not a direct correlation. If a student does very, very well on a STAR test, then yes, they may do very well on the TSI, but it's not a direct correlation.
What courses can be taken prior to passing the TSI exam? The Psych 1300, Spanish 1411 and 1412, the Mass Communication 1307, and the BCIS course, the 1305 as well.
Reach out to your high school advisors, dual enrollment advisors. We have a course offering sheet for each high school that will show you what courses students can take in each grade level.
All right, this next question. My son is in 10th grade at AHS. He does have an IEP. Could he still enroll in dual credit?
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
once your student applies to Alvin Community College, then of course you and your student could reach out to Student Accessibility Services at ACC, and they would meet with you regarding any sort of accommodations. Of course, they're going to want to review the paperwork that you have from the high school and see if there are any accommodations that are appropriate for your student. The recommendation that I give to my students who receive accommodations is to make sure that they have signed the FERPA waiver. Because for Student Accessibility Services, I think it's really important that the parent is part of that process. That's a lot for a high school student to sort of navigate by themselves. So definitely make sure that FERPA waiver has been taken care of, and then you can help your student reach out to Student Accessibility Services.
and if you have any additional questions or concerns, I'm Ms. Hilliard. I'm the dual enrollment advisor at Alvin High School. I'm located on the B building, B112, and I will be glad to help out as well for any additional questions.
This is a great question. Does a student still receive college credits for taking AP courses without taking the TSI test or enrolling in dual enrollment?
So students have to have a certain amount of residency hours. So a student cannot earn a complete degree without taking some dual enrollment courses. So I would say they're going to have to take the TSI test because you cannot receive college credit for your AP courses until you have completed at least 3 hours of credit at ACC. So you can't just apply all of your AP course credit. You have to take a class through the dual enrollment program before that credit can be applied.
All right, can an 11th grader start doing dual enrollment? So if you started the process now in 11th grade, you would be starting dual enrollment classes in 12th grade. Yes, there is a place for everyone in dual enrollment. Now, could a senior earn a 60-hour degree program in one school year? No, I don't think that's realistic. However, working with your advisor, could you pick some classes that it would be strategic to bring with you to your next college or university? Yes, absolutely.
All right, so it looks like that was the last question. Again, feel free to reach out to any of these wonderful advisors. We are here to help you all. We want to see our students be successful and are glad to answer any other questions that you may have at a later time. Thank you again for attending tonight, and you all have a great rest of your night.